What's up, guys? So I want to talk briefly about the biggest money mindset shift that I had to make when I was probably 15 or 16 years old that made the biggest change in my life and, the success that I've had. So the biggest mindset shift that I had to make with money was that it's not a super scarce resource. It's something that you need to use and basically put into other vehicles, right? So at the time, I was probably 15, 16 years old, working on the farm, and this random guy hits me up. Like, I was kind of starting to post content here and there. Like, you can scroll back and see, like, I was literally making videos on the farm of me talking and giving advice. But I remember at the time I was posting those like motivational videos, and my buddy Dre hit me up, or like one of his guys hit me up randomly out of the blue, and they basically were trying to sell me on basically growing my account, believe it or not. So at the time, I was like, I thought it was a scam, right? I was, because I've never invested. Like, at the time, I've never invested into coaches or mentors or like courses. Like, fast forward, 5, 6 months later, I started to invest. I like bought Ty Lopez's thing back when he was like crushing the SMMA world. But this first investment that I made, which was a $900 investment into my buddy who basically teaches you how to grow your page and like get really good content out there. At the time, I was talking on the phone with this sales guy, and it was like uncomfortable, hearing it, because like I've never been sold to in my life on like a high ticket sale, which at the time, again, like $900 to me was a lot of money. So when I was thinking about, okay, my bank account literally had maybe $1,200 from me literally selling chicken eggs. So I was selling chicken eggs, I was selling whole chickens, and somehow I made a couple $1,000. I had it in my account, my savings account, and he was basically trying to sell me on this product, and it took a little bit of convincing. Like, the sales guy literally got the CEO of the company on the call to like close me on the deal. Needless to say, like, it was the best investment, at least one of the best investments I made, because that started the trajectory of me getting in this mindset that like, hey, I can use my money in the bank for things like this, where this will shortcut this will kind of like shortcut the learning curve to me being able to reach more people, me being able to post really good content, me being able to close deals, all this kind of stuff. So again, like, it was a big risk to me. It felt super uncomfortable for me to like make that investment, because again, I was literally a 15 or 16-year-old kid, never invested a dime in my life into like mentors or courses, a book, right? Like, I've invested maybe $30 into a book. That's probably the max that I did at the time. So it kind of felt like it was a scam, but I saw they had a ton of results. I saw that they had a track record of success. And I was just thinking in my mind, I'm like, okay, I have $1,200 in my account. It's kind of just sitting there, right? It's not like it's really doing anything. It's probably losing money because of, the interest that's outweighing the current. It's just literally not making any money. So I'm actually losing money by keeping this in the bank. So I was like, I don't really have a lot to lose. So put it into this investment. Needless to say, this started the trajectory of me getting into the mindset and the mind frame of, okay, I can use my money to buy skills. I can use my money to invest into people. I can use my money to invest into bigger rooms, bigger opportunities, because fast forward, I've now invested literally over $120,000 into coaches, into courses, into mentors and seminars. And like, I've gotten into rooms with big people because I pay to play, which there's a lot of misconception, I feel like, around pay to play. Like, when you hear pay to play, especially with social media, people are like, oh, he's, cheating the system, he's cheating, blah, blah, blah. They're naive. If you ever hear somebody say like, oh, I've never spent a dime on, this or that, or never spent a dime on ads, I'm like, good for you, but like, social media is built to be a pay-to-play platform. The biggest entrepreneurs, the biggest coaches online, they are spending tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars per month on things like content creation, growth, lead generation, teams, systems, AI. So if you think that you're going to get to the top without investing into coaches, if you think you're going to get to the top without investing into yourself and investing into your brand, you're naive. Right? So if you guys are a coach, if you are watching this and you are stuck below 10, 15, 20K per month profit, and you just cannot break through that ceiling, then it's not lack of effort, right? Like you're probably doing a lot of work. The problem is that you don't have that outsider's view or the right outsider's view to look in and say, hey, we're not doing this right. Hey, this needs to be optimized better. Hey, we need to pivot doing this in order to see those results. So again, the biggest money mindset hack I had to essentially create was definitely just the fact that money is not best kept hoarded in a bank. Money is best used and flowing to other things that can basically make you more money, right? So if you guys are, even if you're down to your last 500, 1,000, $2,000, $3,000, I have literally worked with clients that were down to their last $5,000 in the bank or $2,000 in the bank. They took that money, they invested it into a skill, which was, learning how to grow their brand, learning how to, run lead generation, learning how to actually book calls, actually close deals on their sales calls. And that's what catapulted them to making $10, $15, $20, $25,000 per month, right? So again, it's almost riskier to keep that money in the bank and having it just sit there, because all it's doing is losing value. You're not using that money. You're just having this mind frame of, okay, this is a cushion that I have in case I fail. But at the end of the day, it's like you're already failing if you're not making, at least 8 to 10K per month online as a coach. If you've been doing this for any longer than a few months and you're not cracking 10K per month plus, there is something wrong. There's something you need to learn. There's some kind of system or process that you need to implement in order to see those results. And the only way you're going to be able to get that quicker without having to spin your wheels for 5 years and learn it yourself, like what I had to basically do, is hiring coaches, hiring people that can give you that blueprint. So if there's anything I can tell you guys, if you have not invested enough money into coaching, courses, mentors, seminars, like any type of information that can get you to where you want to be, then that is probably the biggest bottleneck that you have right now, is you have a little bit of cash and you have this false story in your mind that I need to keep this cash, whether it's $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, and it's just sitting there and you're not learning the skills in order to grow. So again, I was down to my last $1,200, right? I didn't really know what I was going to do if I failed, because this was a huge investment for me. It's basically everything I had. But I invested and I made it work. I grew my page, I reached more people, and then I eventually launched my offers, and now, it's panned out for the better, you know what I mean? And I'll tell you right now, every single investment I've ever made in myself and in my in my personal brand, it's always panned out one way or another. It's always made me an ROI, because I'm the type of guy where if I come into a program, I come into a course or, a coaching offer, I am going to max that shit out until I literally cannot get any more value out of it, right? And I will literally see the best results I can possible in order to do justice to my coaches, in order to do justice to myself for making that investment. I want to make 3, 5, 10, 100x what I invested into it. So if you go in with that mindset, you go and take your last, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, and you invest it into a coach and you actually give it your all, there's almost an impossibility that you will fail. Because if you keep on going, you keep staying consistent, and you have at least somewhat more, you have more guidance, right? You have more of a direction to follow, then you are way more likely to hit those goals that you're looking to hit. So just want to make this quick video because a lot of you guys, you're making the excuse that, oh, I only have a little bit in the bank. I need that money, for the future. I got 6K, I got 8K, I have 10K in my bank. It's just, I don't want to take that and invest it. It seems too risky. Well, let me kind of shift that mind frame for you, because it's too risky for you to keep that money in the bank right now and not invest into the coaching and the resources that you need in order to reach the next level and get to a position where you don't have to worry about money in the bank. You don't have to use financing options. You don't have to do split payments. If you see an opportunity in the future, you have 100K in the bank, 200K in the bank, you can throw 3, 5, 10K at an opportunity or a program or a retreat, and you don't have to blink. You get to be in those bigger rooms. That's where I want all my clients to get to, is they have all this opportunity and these resources in order to go get every single opportunity possible, because that's where you really start to max out life and reach that next level.